What's the dumbest way you've gotten a scar? I have a scar on my forearm from a weaponized paper airplane I taped razor blades to and launched with a rubber band. Edit. Holy crap. Had no idea what I was getting into when I posted this. Thanks for the upvotes and awards everyone. Going to try and post some pictures. Edit. Photos of the monstrosity. Sadly, this happened when I was 22. In the Air Force as a 3D0X2. It sliced my forearm open on launch. I enlisted the help of another member of our shop to help me destroy the evidence and drive me to the base hospital to get stitches. Don't touch the iron, it's hot. Can't be that hot. Narrator. It was. Boys from my class were throwing CDs like you throw frisbee. One of those hit me right between the eyes. Still got a small scar there. I used a pressure washer on my foot. I have one on the back of my hand from rubbing the skin off with a pencil eraser longer than the other kid did when I was 13 just to prove I was tough. My brother, sister and I all have the same kind of scar in our left eyebrow and got them at the same age. My brother opened an empty dresser drawer and smacked himself in the face. My sister ran into a brick wall and I fell off the couch onto a coffee table. Edit. I am amazed how much this comment blew up throughout the day. Hundreds of comments. I took the time to read each and every one of them. Took a while but I did it. Couldn't help but upvote each one. It was a pleasure reading each story and it's crazy just how many of us have the same scar from a coffee table. Much love everyone. I was trying to squeeze between two cars. One of the cars must have had a jagged bumper because it sliced a 2-inch gash in my leg. For my 8th birthday, a classmate got me something like a grow-your-own stalagmite kit you could buy at educational stores. Apparently, the purpose was to add water to some powder material, and use a funnel in the kit to drip it down to make your own cave features. Exciting. I know. Anyway, I kept it and the other birthday presents I got in a cardboard box in my room. Evidently, at some point, moisture got into the box and the plastic the powder was in. And it began expanding, having nowhere else to go. The stalagmite material oozed its way out through the narrow slits in its box and hardened into razor-sharp edges. I found this out quite bloodily when I put my hand into my birthday box to grab another toy and pulled it out with permanently altered fingerprints on my thumb, index, and middle fingers. I got cut by a vacuum. A fucking vacuum. I was in middle school and we were going to see Coach Carter in theaters with the boys' b-ball team. Middle school me was pumped. While in the shower I thought, Coach Carter I bet they do push-ups in that movie. I'ma do push-ups right now. Tried to do a wall push-up. Slipped. Smacked my face on the edge of the tub. And split my upper lip open from mouth to nose. Needless to say, did not make it to the movie. 7-year-old me was helping my mum iron clothes. I pulled on the cord. The iron fell and smacked me right in the face. I still have a scar above my right eye. Edit. Who the fuck gave this a wholesome award? CMON bruh. I got hit on the bridge of my nose by a ceramic toilet seat when I was learning to pee like a big boy. Now I think about it, that's probably the best outcome there. I was headbanging my hairdryer in the bathroom. I hit the counter. I was 8. When I deliberately cut myself. Not seriously. I just wanted the word ninja on my hand. Don't ask me why. So I broke my right arm when I was a kid, then decided to put a cast on me. My skin under my cast is so itchy. It's like my skin is alive. When 2 months have passed, I decided to scratch my skin under the cast using a pen since my fingers couldn't reach further areas. While doing so, I accidentally put the pen further away inside that I can't remove it under my cast. Since I can't reach it, then I just ignored it after that, thinking that it will be just fine, and I didn't tell that to my parents since they would be mad. After 2 months, they decided to remove my cast since it's already due, but the night before removing my cast, my mom noticed that my arm smells rotten. So fast forward. They removed the cast in my arm in the hospital, then they noticed that the pen was penetrating my skin for months and the hole is about the size of a penny full of pus. I didn't even feel a thing. After that, the hole eventually became a penny-sized scar in my skin. Playing manhunt. Some idiot made the campfire area base. I was running for my life to get there. Jumped this huge pile of firewood. Tripped over something and rolled right into the fire. It could have been so much worse. but I only burned my elbow and some of my hair. It's been probably 15 years and the scar is only about 3 inches long and 1 wide. I have 2 from when I was a kid. Running around in the dark on a school roof. Tripped over and ripped my hand to shreds. Jumping and sliding on a door that had been kicked in. Jumped straight onto a nail that went in my knee. I was a stupid kid. Lazy me liked to iron clothes while wearing them when I was 20 years old. My left arm can testify. I tried cutting open a lemon with a fork. Edit. The fork slipped and entered my hand. But I guess the sharp lemon theory will do. Thanks for the award, kind stranger. I've got bitten by a guinea pig. Worse than that. A friend of mine was bitten by a snail. Edit. As you, Flumpybum, pointed out. Snails don't bite, as they don't have teeth. But a wee rasp-like tongue. I am aware of that. But writing getting licked by a snail until it hurt could have led to confusion. I gave myself a scar across my eye because I was drunk. Watching Revenge of the Sith. And thought it'd look cool. Punching concrete, don't ask why I did it, I have no fucking clue. Edit. Why is it every comment I fall asleep after making that blows up? Was about 4, broke a glass jar and sat on it. Fir needle cut me across the wrist while playing hide and seek out in the woods. A fir needle. When I was 5, I was spinning around in the living room and then fell face first into the coffee table. I have a scar on my forehead from that LMAO. My mother and brother were arguing about ice cream cone sizes. So my brother stormed off. I followed him back to a villa thing we were staying at. He didn't have a key and we didn't want to wait, so I just punched through the glass in the sliding door to make an entrance. There were probably 1,000 other safer ways to do it, but it just seemed the quickest. Fucking ice cream cone sizes. Man. Drunk. And leaned down to kiss a strange dog on the nose. Of all things. 27 stitches down my nose later. I punched a pint glass one night when I was drunk back in college. It ended up slicing my finger really badly. Like there was a flap of skin that came up. Went to the bathroom and ran it underwater. But it just kept bleeding. I didn't know what to do and was too drunk to try to deal with it. So I just wrapped my hand in a towel and tried to go to sleep. Woke up to knocking at my door and it ended up being security. He followed a trail of blood from the bathroom to my room and wanted to make sure I was alright. I showed him my finger and he was like, "Come on. You gotta go to the hospital." Dude was a bro and drove me there even though it was like 3 a.m. Saw a doctor and he had to give me a bunch of stitches. He said I was very lucky because if it was just a tiny bit deeper I would have probably had done permanent damage and lost mobility of the finger. Now I have this scar on my finger shaped like a Nike swoosh to remind me not to be stupid and try to fight glass. Okay sis. Whatever you do, don't put your finger in the boiling sugar because it's real damn hot. And it sticks to you. Puts finger in boiling sugar. My cat decided one day that feeding him was not enough. And full on grappled onto my arm, digging in deep. Got a pretty nasty infection from that. And now I've got 2 nasty scars next to my wrist. I got drunk on 4th of July and fell in a utility hole thing in my friend's yard and then got sunburned, so the scar never healed properly. I have many burns from the oven from my first year at uni. I didn't have oven mittens, so I just grabbed everything with my bare hands. Second year I was prepared. Got mittens. First attempt as I was taking a baking tray out of the oven. It slipped from the mittens and burned my inner elbow. Still got that one. My cousin scratched my face because I was very ill and everyone was taking care of me. So she got jealous and nobody noticed for a long time because they were focused on getting my temperature back to normal. Was in the Scouts whittling a stick for funsies. Except I was pushing the blade in the wrong direction and whittled my index finger instead. Kicked a refrigerator as hard as I could while wearing slippers after my sister told me she was getting a divorce. Fridge won, but I did get a dent in the bastard. I was heating up oil in the pan for the chicken. A chicken fillet slipped out of my hand and onto the handle of the pan. The pan flipped and launched the boiling hot oil all over my hand. It hurt. A lot. My government stored 2,700 tons of ammonium nitrate alongside fireworks in a warehouse at the port near a residential area for 7 years until they blew up in the biggest non-nuclear explosion ever. Shattering the glass window I was sitting by in my house and giving me a nasty scar on the arm. I have a white dot from where a wasp stung me almost 20 years ago. I climbed up the drain pipe of a school. Put my thigh in the spike that's supposed to stop me from climbing. Didn't stop me from getting to the roof. Edit. Spelling. I used to thoroughly enjoy sliding down grassy hills as a kid. One fateful luge led to me running over a hidden rock, resulting in a permanent rear tire puncture, my right butt cheek. Cutting a pretzel open to put butter in it. I cut my right ring finger. Was a kid. Only around 10 or 11. Thought my iguanas were fighting, so I went to take the boy off the girl. Spoiler alert. They weren't fighting. And I don't blame him one bit for biting me when I tried to break up him getting laid. Teacher. Go to lunch. But do not run. I'll be watching you all. 8-year-old me proceeds to walk to lunch facing backwards. Checking to see if the teacher is still watching. She is. Eventually I accept defeat. Turn to walk forwards. And collide head first with a piano. Getting my bulldog jealous because of some random doll laying on the ground. Making her think that I would try to snatch it from her. And get bite in the left ear by yawning. Legit. It's finally my time to shine. It was Christmas Day. 2010. I was 10. My brother was 12. I was in that stage of my life where I greatly admired my brother. And basically followed him around and did what he ordered me to do. At this given moment, my nan and her boyfriend were at the table sitting outside enjoying the sunshine and listening to Mariah Carey. My mom, preparing the Christmas feast of ham and roast veg. My dad, probably trying to figure out how to make ice with the new ice machine and cursing his existence. Now for a little more context. I've grown up in the Australian suburbs. This is important to reference, as it explains why my brother and I were trying to peep over the fence to see what our loud neighbors were doing. You're probably confused. I'll explain. In Australia, it's common culture to extend to your neighbors, or the entire street, an invitation into the family. This includes inviting them over to celebrate birthdays, having afternoon siestas on the front lawn, joint Australia Day BBQs, that kind of thing. However, my family was never really close to the neighbors behind us. I personally feel like this is because they never cut their bloody tree that's palms dipped into our yard. Anyway, on this particular Christmas, those neighbors were being louder than usual. My brother, being the nosy bastard he is, decided he wanted to see what the commotion was all about. So he decided he had a plan: get a chair, put it against the fence and look over. But alas, this plan would not work, as the way the chair was positioned, my brother would surely topple over. Cue my involvement. I sat down in that chair as if my life depended on it. My brother needed my help, so I'd be sure to give it. I watched as my brother climbed the chair, using the headrest as a step. He peered over. I caught my breath. It felt like eternity before my brother started to jitter and panic. "What are you doing up there? Holy turtle doves," I thought, as my brother clambered down the fence. The bloody neighbors had seen his boof of a head peering into their yard. Now panicking as well, I yelled at my brother to hurry down so I could run away myself. But that wasn't before the incident occurred. The life-changing moment that gave me my scar. I bet you're wondering how it happened. Did my brother somehow topple the chair over and make me fall, cutting my hand on the pot plant below? No. Or did the neighbor throw over a cricket ball in anger, it landing on my head and causing me to bleed and have a little Harry Potter scar? Not even close. As my brother rushed down from the fence, his feet came too close to my face. His big toes specifically. And in a moment you could say was set on 0.75 speed. His toenail collided with my cheek, cutting my face. He landed safely on the floor and ran to the outdoor table, including himself in my nan and her partner's conversation as if nothing happened. But I knew something was wrong. My bloody face was burning. I abandoned the chair and the yells of fury behind me and darted for the bathroom. I looked in horror at my new battle wound. My God. I looked like a prisoner you wouldn't want to fuck with. The cut resembled a teardrop. Almost exactly so. It was rather fascinating in a way. But the stinging overcame the wonderment. I cleaned the wound as best as I could, being 10 years old and not very bright, and stuck a band-aid on it. I know. I walked out and copied my brother, sitting at the table and acting like nothing happened. Of course everyone picked up on the band-aid. But I simply said I wanted to be a Christmas pirate. Doesn't make any sense. I know, and they moved on. To this day, I have that scar. Yes, it still resembles a teardrop. Lifting a small supermarket trolley over a wall to impress a girl. Cut my arm on 2 nails sticking out from the top of the wall. I have multiple scars on my thumbs from slicing my thumb open on cans of ravioli and SpaghettiOs. Was probably 10 when I fought with my younger brother over who gets to use the knife first to slice our own fruits, and I tried snatching it from him. I still have 1 scar on each of my first 4 fingers forming a straight line from that cut. Lol. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to drop a like. If you would like to see more content like this in the future, subscribe and turn on notifications to be notified about future videos. Now check out one of these interesting videos.